What's going on, guys? It's Looks Like a OG here, and on today's video I'm bringing you guys another crazy Warzone game with some friends of mine, and I kind of want to talk about a couple topics in this video, as well as do a commentary throughout the whole video and kind of see how you guys like that. But first and foremost, I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about some bug fixes that I would like to see in the game, and some changes that I would like to see based on changes that they've made.
He's on the rooftop.
But if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, please hit that subscribe button. I'm uploading constant Warzone content, and if you like the video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up, or if you agree with anything I'm talking about, let me know in the comment section down below. So let's get right into the video here. And I wanted to start off by talking about some bugs that are still in the game, that have been in the game for a little while, that I would love to see adjusted. One of those bugs is where you have some type of airstrike that is as a kill streak, and you cannot call it in. You go to take that, for example, the precision airstrike. You go to call that airstrike in, and it says in white text that the airspace is too crowded for whatever reason. And sometimes there's nothing going on the map. It could be like 10 people left, no one's calling in any UAVs or any airstrikes, and you just get this bug where you can't utilize the airstrikes in a key situation. And so I would like to see that bug fixed maybe in an upcoming patch. I don't know if you guys have been affected by that, but it's definitely happened to me on a consistent basis, and the only way to fix it is if you literally go down and get back up, and then you can call it in, and that shouldn't be the result of that. I would love to see a change for that as well. The next thing, I just got killed today by an individual. I don't know if he was hacking or not. That individual was flying a helicopter underneath the map. He was flying it totally underneath the map, but was able to kill all types of players with the chopper. So either this game is still pretty hacker infested, and we'll get into that, but now individuals are starting to be able to fly objects underneath the map. I would love to see everything be on the surface level. And going into the cheaters, the game is still pretty heavy infested with cheaters due to the fact that it is a free-to-play game, which is understandable, and they're doing great things so far with matching up cheaters in the same lobbies and trying to improve the reporting system for cheaters that we are able to spot in our games. I mean, I would love to see some continuous development on that, because cheaters are still getting through the weeds and getting into these regular lobbies, and they're kind of ruining the experience for us people who are grinding 25-minute matches to get to this top 5 situation, and then to just be killed by cheaters is pretty frustrating. And you obviously we can be as patient as possible and wait this out, but eventually it can get a little bit irritating. And so I would love to see just some continuous, maybe just even an update on what is happening with cheaters so far, along with the current things that they've inputted in the game. I would love to hear some more about how they're trying to mitigate cheaters. Next, I want to talk about the cash drop rate that has been adjusted in Warzone since the recent patch. And what I'm talking about is the amount of cash that has dropped, the rate at which cash is dropped from boxes just around the map, just those regular crates that you hear and that you open up and they shoot out loot. They used to give a guaranteed amount of money, whether that's $500 or $1,000, and that was a really nice way to kind of get some cash if your teammates are dead, to get them back up if you don't have any scavenger boxes around you or any recon bounties that you can pick up. Getting those cash drops from those boxes is super critical, especially too if you're playing by yourself with some randoms who are dying consistently. Having that cash at hand to kind of help you stay in the game is super important, and they made an adjustment to that where it's not dropping that cash every single time. And I don't know if that is a bug that happened with the recent patch, or if that's something that they intended to do, but I would love to see that reverted to that way. Cash drop rate was previously was set at. I don't think anybody on Twitter or Reddit, unless I missed the forum, was asking for that change. It was something that was made without the devs kind of reaching out to the community, and that would have been really nice to be able to be asked, like, hey, should we adjust the drop rate? Do you think that you're not getting enough cash? Do you think you're getting too much cash? And we could have given our input on that. And that leads me into my next point, is I would love to see an in-game poll at the home screen where we can vote on changes that are being thought about. Whether that be adjustments to armor, adjustments to guns, cash drop rates. I would love to see just like a simple poll put put right there where they have the carousel of different updates that happens and different things in that carousel of images, right? Just a simple poll that everyone in the community can engage with. There'll be tons of engagement because it's a simple thing that players would be doing when they're queuing up in matches and just waiting. I think it's a great solution and a great way to get feedback from the community aside from Reddit and Twitter, which is more filled with people who are more involved, and it represents a smaller part of the community than the actual players who are on the game that aren't on Reddit, that aren't on Twitter, that don't have gaming accounts, that don't engage with the social media aspect of Infinity Ward. Being able to see those opinions in game from players, from all types of players, would be really helpful. And then also too, I feel like they still need to scale out prices for solos, right? Prices are still $10,000 for solos. The cash drop rate is much less now, so it's much harder to get your loadout. I win about half of a game earlier today without having any loadout or any loadout drop. And so that's still something that hasn't been changed or hasn't even been talked about being changed, and I would love to see some adjustments to the scaling of prices for different things in solos, because obviously you're by yourself and you're not able to get that much cash that frequently when you don't have 3 people running around the map opening boxes, doing scavenger,
down one.
Whatever they're called, scavenger contracts to get more money. Right here. I would love to see that scaled out in the future. But overall, I feel. But before I get into Warzone and my overall feeling, I think one more thing is the game chat. Game chat is consistently cutting out in Warzone, and you're gonna see it happen in this video and kind of how we are managed to work around that. But game chat audio is still cutting out on a consistent basis, and I would love for either some type of update on that or some type of solution that comes out in the future. And I know it's easier said than done, but it is kind of tough when you're playing with randoms and you're communicating with randoms and they're communicating with you, and things are going smoothly until you can't communicate with them anymore, and that adds a whole layer of another factor that we have to battle on top of trying to kill people. And I would love to just be able to communicate frequently, but once again, I understand that we're playing crossplay. This is a hard thing to do, and it's easier said than done, but I still want to keep it at the top of mind for anybody who may be watching this. But overall, I believe that Warzone is headed in the right direction. We clearly know that Infinity Ward is paying attention to our feedback, listening to us, and I absolutely cannot thank them enough for how responsive they've been and how engaging they've been with the community. It's super awesome to see that. I know the multiplayer experience and the multiplayer engagement is a little different, but on the Warzone side, it's been really frequent, and I really appreciate that. So right here in front of us at this current moment, the game chat audio has just cut out from my whole team here, and I'm calling out to my boys. I'm trying to let them know that we have people on this buy station right in front of me here, and I'm engaging them, but I still don't know that my game chat is cut out yet. So I'm like, all right, forget it. I'm just gonna push back here, and I'm going to relink with my team. I'm getting some loot here. Well, all 3 of us are still alive, and I finally realized that, like, all right, my teammates can't hear what I'm saying. You know, they can't hear anything. So I just decide to just play it out instead of trying to set up like a Discord real quick. We just decided to play it out because we did have a random second. These guys are crossing in the field in the ping. I go in for the open shots here. Once again, this isn't my loadout, so I'm kind of struggling to stay on target with this M4 I have in my hands. But we do manage to get the down, but I have to fall back because my teammate goes down, and he drops down there. That was kind of a disadvantage on my end, and I drop down trying to get the respawn, and I get outgunned here. Luckily, I had my self-revive, which I immediately started getting off right away, and that person tried to re-engage. We broke our shields, and then we immediately went for the res. It was a risky thing, but I knew that we needed all 3 of us to be in this game to win. So I went for that res here, and it looks like our teammate ended up wiping them here, and that allows us to push forward. So I'm pushing forward because the zone is closing, and I know that you can't vault up these rocks here. So I know that we have to push forward and wrap around. And I know that we can wrap around because the enemies just climbed up from this same spot. So I run here, get some shields, get some cash, and we start vaulting these rocks here. We're still not communicating as frequently as we would with everyone chatting, but we're making it work. And so now we're pushing up. There's only about 19 people left in the game, 18 people, and 3 of us are my teammates, and so I'm trying to get my buddy here some shields. He's got no shields, and I see him not healing, so I'm dropping shields for him, trying to get him into the game, trying to get him at full shields. But I want to rotate and get on my teammates, so I'm doing everything I can to try to link up in that house, so that way we can kind of be within like a trade distance, where if I go down, they can get my trade. If they go down, I can get their trade. In these late game situations, I really like to prioritize staying close to your teammates, so that way you guys are all able to help each other out when it comes down to these final gunfights. So right here, I'm trying to give my boy, this is the complication that happens when you're not able to communicate through audio. I'm trying to get my buddy the plates, and he's, you know, focused on checking out other teammates. Our random ends up picking up the plates that I dropped for my buddy, and I kind of get a little bit frustrated there because he picked up the plates. So I'm trying to tell him to drop the plates, and once again, I'm typing here. I'm typing in the chat, and it would have been so much easier to communicate that with him. But Brendan ends up popping, my buddy ends up popping one plate that he had, and we kind of just work with it here. So now some people have dropped. There's only the top 10 left, 7 enemies. 3 of them are my boys here, and we're trying to move in. The circle is closing. Luckily, this house didn't have any people in it, so we're gonna take over this house, and we're just trying to rotate smart here. No need to rush out and try to engage and kill everyone. We want to make sure that we're in a good position. I'm trying to clear this house here, so I pull out my MP7 for the faster ADS rate. Luckily, there's no one in this second story, so I'm just gonna hold this second story window, try not to get sniped, and try to get some damage here. I see there's a fight going on in this bungalow, and so I'm pinging it as much as possible here. But we're not able to see anybody at this current moment. Take a couple pot shots there, but nothing happens. So we thirst the down guy here, trying to just minimize as many people that are in the game as possible. I know that this guy here, there's still one over there. We saw him cross over, so I'm kind of keeping my eyes on that area. He starts pushing in, so I ping that he's going to be hugging that wall. And I think that he's hugging that wall because in a situation like this, that's probably what I would do, is I would hug that wall until the end game. And so I'm super cautious about this guy, and I'm really worried about that guy because he's probably the one that'll ruin us. I throw a couple C4s here. I butcher the second one. I get no hit marker, but I know that he's still there, so I'm trying to ping him to my buddy who's close to the wall. But there's still other players left, and I see him shooting across, so I know the other player is on the other side of the house. But I can focus on this guy because I'm not exposing myself to the other guy. I choose to push this guy, and you'll see why. So we don't challenge because I think he has the akimbo snake shots. He tries to push in, but the gas is pushing him towards the circle. And right here, I'm not exposing myself to the left, so I hold this corner. I have a gas mask, and we get that easy kill there. I could have pushed out and tried to trade, but I did the gas play, and it worked out for us. So that was kind of how we kind of managed this game chat situation. It was a little tough, but either way, we got the dub. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys enjoyed this commentary. I'm going to continue doing it like this if you guys like it. Please make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. With that, I'm going to be out of here, you guys. Have a nice night.